Hola, hello. Hello. Hello, Nestor. How are you? Are you there? Only you? Hello, Lucas. Alicia. How are you? Remember, you have to have before you your natural science notes. Your natural science notes, please. Are you ready? Hello, Eva. Okay, so let's go. It's now, please. Have to go to your natural science notes. Go there, and we're going to see some things, very interesting things. Page number 7 about plants. Okay, remember that last days we saw many things about non-vascular plants. Okay, so Moses, these were non-vascular plants, plants that have no roots at all, and they absorb the oxygen, not the oxygen, carbon dioxide and humidity from the environment. And then we have vascular plants, so they are plants with leaves and with kind of roots. In this case, we have vascular plants, but with spores. And the case of ferns is very important. And now we are going to see this part. Okay, so vascular plants with seeds, and this kind of plants can be divided into two groups. One of them are non-flowering plants, and their name, very important, is gymnosperms. Gymnosperms. This is the name for non-flowering plant. And we have vascular plants as well, but with flowering plants we have angiosperms. This is what today we're going to study. But before, I like you to go to your exercise part, because we're going to correct the exercise number 16. Remember, you have this exercise as kind of homework, so remember that. Now let's do the review of the first sentence. So first sentence, you have there, they have vessels. Vessels are kind of pipes, okay, to transport water and food throughout the plant. You have to choose between vascular or non-vascular plants. Vascular or non-vascular plants. Okay, that's better, I think. Okay, so please. Okay, so I need you to sorry, I need your contribution. So what do you think? Are they vascular or non-vascular plants? What do you think? Number 1. So they have vessels to transport water and food throughout the plant. What do you think? What do you think? Vascular? I'm waiting for you. Can you hear me? Vascular, very good. So they have vessels to transport water, and that means that they are vascular plants. Very good. So number 2, go to number 2, and I like you to to tell me. So, attention. Number 2. Within these plants is the phloem and the xylem. Within, remember, this was kind of tissues and systems to transport water, and you had to choose between vascular or non-vascular plants. Okay, so you had to choose between vascular or non-vascular plants. What do you think? Number 2, vascular or non-vascular plant. You have to answer quickly because we need time. So this is vascular plants. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, and the opposite is true as well for the other kind of plants. So they do not have a phloem or xylem. They don't have this. So these are not vascular plants, but in this case are non-vascular plants. Non-vascular plants. Okay, we are correcting. So you have to be very attentive. Number 4. Instead of roots, these plants have rhizoids. No roots. They have rhizoids. So you have to choose between vascular and non-vascular plants. They don't have roots. They don't have roots. They have rhizoids. And in this case, we have a clear answer. This is non-vascular plants. But maybe you remember about ferns. Ferns are vascular plants without roots. Without roots, they have rhizoids as well. So the correct answer would be non-vascular plants, but remember that there are some vascular plants, for example, ferns, vascular plants with spores that have rhizoids as well. Very good. So number 5. Very good, Candela. Very good. So number 5. These plants have roots not only for support but also to soak up water. So talking about plants with roots, what do you think? Talking about plants with roots, what do you think? What do you think, vascular or non-vascular plants? They have roots, not only for support, but also to soak up water. To soak is same as to drink water. So vascular plants, very good, easy. Attention with this sentence. These plants are commonly found in moist, remember, is the English for our Spanish, humid, húmedo, okay? These plants are commonly found in moist environments so that they are always close to a water source and can absorb the water right into the main part of the plant without relying on roots. Attention! They are always close to a water source. So, talking about mosses. Musgo. Talking about mosses. Musgo. Are they vascular or non-vascular? Good, Nestor. Good, Alicia. So they are non-vascular plants. Okay. We're finishing this exercise. So these plants have flowers and seeds. These plants have flowers and seeds. Flowers and seeds. So these plants have flowers and seeds. What do you think? Vascular or non-vascular? Vascular or non-vascular? Number 7. These plants have flowers and seeds. Yes, vascular plants. Okay, let's go faster. Number 8, they reproduce by creating single-celled spores. So plants with spores, which is the correct answer. There is a very clear answer here. A very clear answer here. Attention. Number 8, they reproduce by creating single-celled spores. So a very clear answer is non-vascular. But there are some exceptions. For example, ferns. Okay, ferns. In vascular plants we have ferns. Ferns are vascular. Okay, and they reproduce also by spores and non-vascular as well. So number 9. These plants include mosses. Mosses is the English for our Spanish musgo. Mosses. So the answer is, remember, the answer is non-vascular. Very good. Now please, I'd like you to watch some videos. And in this case, I have something for you about non-flowering plants. And attention.
Good day, learners. This is Easy Engineering. Previously, we've discussed about the flowering plants, and we have also found out that animals can also plant. But did you know that not all plants grow flowers? They are called the non-flowering plants. Now let's discover amazing things about them.
Okay, so talking about non-flowering plants, so we're talking about vascular plants. This is the first thing, okay? But inside this group, we have non-flowering plants, plants without flowers, and plants with flowers. Remember that one example of plants without flowers are ferns, helechos. Okay, let's continue.
Non-flowering plants. Is it a bit dull to hear? They don't have that attractiveness of the flowers. They don't bear those delicious fruits either. So what would make them useful to us? Well, basically, non-flowering plants are plants that do not use flowers to reproduce. Therefore, you cannot see some flowers in its structure. Some trees are non-flowering plants.
For example, these are pine trees. Pine trees are non-flowering plants. When you take a glance to a pine tree, you can't see flowers there, okay? But they are plants. They are non-flowering plants.
The leaves of the trees have a very important job because they give us much of the oxygen we need to have to breathe and live. Trees also provide shade for us and give the birds and squirrels a place to call home. And they hold the ground so that when flood comes, they don't just get washed away. There are many kinds of non-flowering plants, but it's obvious that they don't have flowers or fruits. So how come there are still so many of them? Now let's classify this into two main groups of non-flowering plants. First group are those plants that use spores to reproduce.
Please be attentive. Don't use chat while the reproduction. Okay? Don't use chat. So pay attention here.
Spores are cells that are very...
Can you see the spores here? Okay? This is the case under the frond. Frond is the name for the leaf of a fern. This is a fern, okay? This is a plant called fern, a vascular plant, and behind, underneath this frond, this leaf, you could say, there are these cases. Inside these cases that are called sporangia, you have these very tiny, you can see these tiny dots, okay? These are the spores. Spores is one thing, and very quite different another thing are seeds. Okay, so so ferns have no seeds, they have spores. Remember that.
Very small. In fact, they are microscopic. That means they're so small that you cannot see them with your eyes. These spores, when released, travel through the air and water and go away from the plant. When these spores land in certain places, they can form new cells and eventually a new plant will grow. Plant with spores usually only have a single
This is a fern. Okay, so this is the front. This is the stem that supports the plant whole plant, and this is called the rhizoid. The rhizoid is a kind of root for support and for soaking up water. Okay, good.
cell, and they grow in huge numbers because spores are super light that they just float in the air and can travel far where they continue to reproduce. An example of a spore-bearing plant is the fern. Ferns produce spore casings on the underside of their leaves. These look like brown spots. At some point, the casings dry out and the spores are released into the air. Ferns live in damp areas and most of them do not have
Damp is the same as in Spanish. Húmedo, moist. Damp is the same. Okay, are synonyms.
real roots or leaves. Instead, their leaves are called fronds. Mosses are another plant that grows from spores.
Remember, Moses is in Spanish musgo. They don't have roots. They have a system to hold on the substrate.
These are plants that are soft and most of the time spongy, that naturally grow a few inches tall only. They stick to rocks and soil by using what is called rhizoid or short growth. The next group are non-flowering plants that use seeds to reproduce. This group is called gymnosperms. How can they have seeds if they don't have fruits? Well, first, the word gymnosperm means naked seeds.
Naked seeds, remember, naked seeds. So we're talking about pine trees, for example. But we're talking about seeds, different, not about spores.
Because the seeds are not covered, unlike the seeds in flowering plants. These seeds fly wildly in the air and help other non-flowering plants to form. One of them are called the conifers. Conifers are plants that have seeds found inside.
Okay, conifers. This is a conifer because this is kind of cone, un cono. Okay, this is kind of cone. That's why they are called conifers.
Cones. The word conifer means bearing cones. Most of these conifers are the cypress trees, fir seeds, pine trees, and more. Like the flowering plants, the cones have gender. Some of the cones are female while others are male.
Attention. Okay, so they have sexual reproduction. They need two different flowers to make a new individual. So we have female cones and we have male cones. Attention now.
And the male cones are the ones that release the pollen.
This is the pollen. The pollen is inside the male cones and they go all the way up to the female cone.
The winged insects or animals then carry the pollen, and if the pollen lands on a female cone, then the cone will make seeds. The cone is very protective of the seeds, and it protects them by growing hard scales. Now the seeds that are inside of the cone are called winged seeds. This means that when the seeds are released, they will fly through the air until they reach the ground, and they will germinate, which means beginning to grow. And that's it. Non-flowering plants may not be as colorful as a plant with flowers, or they may not give you anything good to eat, but they do a lot to help the earth become a better place to live.
Very good, very good. Now, attention, because we're going to go to the text part. Okay, go to the text part there, please. Go to the text part there, and okay. In this case, please I need you text part. Okay, so we have here vascular plants with seeds, and inside this group we have non-flowering plants. We know about that, non-flowering plants, and they are called gymnosperms. Remember that gymnosperms means naked seeds, and you have here three ideas. So gymnosperms are vascular plants with naked seeds, but with seeds, okay, with seeds. These seeds are not enclosed within a fruit, so they are not fruits, okay, such the case is of oranges or apples or this kind of fruits, okay. In this case they are naked seeds. Conifers are gymnosperms. These are conifer. Why? Because this is kind of cone in Spanish. Eso es una especie de cono y por eso se le llama conífera, conifers in English. And attention, they are perennial. That means that all year long they have leaves. They are perennial, evergreen. Evergreen is the same. Evergreen woody trees or shrubs that never have flowers and that have needle-like leaves. Hojas que parecen agujas. Can you see them? Needle-like leaves. When you see some trees with needle-like leaves, probably you are before a conifer. Okay, and some examples are pines, pine trees, cedars, cedros. Okay, very good. So this is one group. The other group is composed of flowering plants, and these groups is received the name of angiosperms. Angiosperms. Angiosperms are vascular plants, same as non-flowering plants and gymnosperm, vascular plants, but with flowers. With flowers. And seeds, in this case, are enclosed inside the fruits. Are enclosed inside the fruits. Okay, they are not naked seeds. Such is the case in the gymnosperms, in conifers. In this case, they have fruits. And examples are you name it, mango tree, pomegranate plant, orange, apple tree. Okay. The vast majority of plants belong to this category. Okay. So most plants belong to the angiosperms, but not all of them. I think this is easy. So in this moment I'd like you to watch another video in this case. And in this case the video is about oh my god. So I have problems. Sorry. Sorry. Can't continue. Sorry, I have problems, technical problems. I can't find my arrow, so I have to finish the class here. So sorry. Okay. Sorry, can't find my arrow in this part. Now, attention. I think we're going to make the most of this time, and remember, in this case, you have to try the exercise 17. Exercise 17 is very easy. We can do it now. So pay attention now. So number one, talking about plants that they belong to the plant kingdom. So you can take angiosperm, you can take gymnosperm, or you can tick both. So you can put true, false, true, true, or false, false. Remember, true, true, false, false, or whatever. And now please, what do you think? Talking about number one. They belong to the plant kingdom. Angiosperm or gymnosperm? Angiosperm or gymnosperms? What do you think? What do you think? Angiosperms or gymnosperm? True and true. Alicia says. True and true. Yes, true and true. Go to the next. Sentence. Number 2. They are eukaryotic living things. They are eukaryotic living things. What do you think? Angiosperm or gymnosperm? And Sophia says 2 and 2. What do you think? Angiosperms or gymnosperms? What do you think? Good, Nestor. 2 and 2. Let's move to number 3. Number 3. They are seed-producing flowering plants. They are seed-producing flowering plants. So, what do you think? Are we talking about angiosperms or gymnosperms? What do you think? Attention. Number 3. They are seed-producing flowering plants. Are we talking about angiosperms or gymnosperms? Gymnosperms are naked seed. So, Paloma, attention. Angiosperms, you have it here in your. Angiosperms are flowering plants. You have flowers, you have seeds and fruits. Gymnosperms are non-flowering plants. You have gymnosperms, you have seeds, but you have no fruits. No fruits. With that in mind, they are seed-producing flowering plants, so with flowers. So in this case, is angiosperms. Okay? Angiosperms. Go to the number 4. You have to study. Go to number 4. They are seed-producing non-flowering plants. They have no flowers, but they have seeds. They have no flowers, but they have seeds, but no flowers. What do you think? Angiosperms or gymnosperms? Remember, gymnosperms means naked seeds, semillas desnudas, semillas sin fruto. So, number 4 is they are seed producing but non-flowering, no flower, no fruit, non-flowering plants. So in this case, talking about gymnosperms, pine trees, for example, pine trees. Number 5. They are, their seeds are enclosed usually in a fruit. So they have fruits. In this case, if they have fruits, we're talking about angiosperms or gymnosperms. You can put an A or a G, okay? An A or a G, which is true for sentence number 5. A or G. A, okay? Angiosperms. Angiosperms are apple. Gymnosperms are pine trees. Remember that. Number six. Their seeds are bare. ¿Qué significa? Que están desnudas. Bare. Not enclosed. Usually found in cones. What do you think? Number six. Angiosperms or gymnosperms. They are usually found in cones, not on cones. This is a mistake. In cones, inside cones. So, gymnosperms. Good. Number seven. They have a seasonal life cycle and lose their leaves during autumn. Okay, this is not true for pine trees. So if this is not true for pine trees, this is not true for gymnosperms, which is true for angiosperms. I repeat, they have a seasonal life cycle. Tienen un ciclo de vida según las estaciones. A seasonal life cycle. So for example, in winter, now they don't have leaves. Okay? But pine trees have leaves today. They lose their leaves during autumn, during the fall. So number 7 is angiosperms. Angiosperms, Lucas, angiosperms. They lose their leaves during autumn. So angiosperms. Let's go to number 8. Number 8. They are evergreen plants. Evergreen plants. They have leaves all year long. They have leaves all year long. So, are we referring to angiosperms or gymnosperms? They are evergreen. They have their leaves all year long, during the whole year. Okay, so gymnosperms. Very good, very good. Now, the leaves are normally flat. Now think about the leaf of a pine tree. And now think about the leaf of an orange tree. The orange tree is flat. The leaf that belongs to an orange tree is normally flat, is flat. Okay, so in this case, talking about angiosperms. This is a very important exercise. So, number 10. Their leaves are needle-like. Needle means aguja in Spanish. Their leaves are needle-like. What do you think? Angiosperms or gymnosperms? Angiosperms or gymnosperms? You have to think about an orange tree or an apple tree and a cone. You have to compare. Needle-like, gymnosperms. Okay, we're finishing. Now, they mostly rely on animals for reproduction. For reproduction. They mostly rely on animals for reproduction. So, in this case, talking about angiosperms or gymnosperms. This is true for angiosperms and it's true as well for gymnosperms. Both. Okay? Okay? So, angiosperms need bees, for example, insects, and gymnosperms the same. So number 11 is true for both of them. Let's go to next sentence. They mostly rely on wind for reproduction. What do you think? Is that true for gymnosperms or for angiosperms? They mostly rely on wind for reproduction. What do you think? They need wind for reproduction. Is it true for angiosperms? Yes, it is. Is it true for gymnosperms? Yes, it is. So this is true for the two of them. Okay, for both. Now, go to 13. This could be difficult. So the wood is hard. Now you have to compare the stem, okay, of a cone, the stem of an orange tree. okay, is harder gymnosperm. So this is true for gymnosperm. And the opposite is true for the other side. So the wood is soft, suave, soft. This is not true for gymnosperms. This is not true for cones. Sorry, for conifers. This is true just for angiosperms. I'm finishing now. They are used for medications, food, clothing. So food, clothing. So for example, cotton, medication, food. Okay, so this is true for angiosperms. And finally, they are used to make paper, lumber is leña, lumber, and so on, which is true, number 16, which is true for gymnosperm. Okay, it's true for gymnosperm. Very good. So now, sorry for this exercise we couldn't do, but this very afternoon I'm going to send you the direction of this video. Okay. Now, please say hello to Mercedes on my part. Okay, and see you tomorrow.